This is Benny. He's a 2-year-old standard poodle, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I prep him for the bath. Now he's got a lot of coat. He's been growing for quite a few months and it's just way too long. It's getting out of control and it's almost spring, so he's ready for a haircut. Sometimes I don't do a lot of prepping before the bath. If they got shorter hair and they're maintained every 2 to 4 weeks, I usually put them in the bath, give them a nice shampooing, a couple of shampoos, conditioner, blow dry them, and then do everything after. But this video is just to show you how I do prepping before the bath on a dog with a lot of coat. So instead of me washing and blow drying all this hair that he has, I'm going to be clipping it off first. Now it's not a short blade, it's not a 7F where you can just shave them right down, and the reason for me to take off the bulk of the hair now is so that I don't spend a lot of time trying to bathe and dry him. The blow drying takes the longest, and when they have a lot of hair it can take like a tremendous amount of time. So to save me time and Benny time as well, to standing on the table for blow drying, I will cut off a lot of the hair since he's going to be short anyways. So basically I am using a blade on my clipper, not a comb attachment. Comb attachments are for after the bath when the dog is washed, blow dried, brushed, and combed thoroughly, because the comb attachment wouldn't go through this hair when it's dirty and tight. It goes through clean hair that has no knots. It would just come off right now. So this is a blade and it's called a 3F. It leaves around ½ an inch of hair, or 13 millimeters. It's a nice length if you don't want too short. The shorter blades would be like 7F, 5F, or 4F. This is a 3F. There is a little bit longer blade as well called 5/8, but it probably wouldn't go through his coat at this stage. He's kind of really dirty. Benny's a young dog. He likes to run through mud and rain, snow. He's just having a blast, so he gets dirty very easy. He just had a bath and blow dry about 2 weeks ago, and the drying took me way over an hour, so I'm going to save myself some time and cut off the bulk of his hair. So I'm just going to cut off all the hair on his body, like the back, the sides, and top of his thighs, and his shoulder area, under his belly, and under his neck and his chest. I'm going to leave the crest area behind the neck, just below the top knot, so I can blend it in later. So here I'm just going under his neck and down his chest. Now this is just a pet grooming. He's not going for competition, and he's not going into a dog show. For competition would be totally different. You would scissor, the chest area. But this is just a pet clip that I'm going to be showing you in case you're trying to learn how to groom your poodle. And so I go right between the legs there. He does have some tight areas and some matting under his legs. These mats can be easily clipped off. Sometimes if they're really tight, I'll use a shorter blade, but in this case they are coming off, and I will trim some and then just brush them out so I don't leave any bald spots. I continue clipping him, and I clip off what I won't be leaving long. He will be getting a crest, so I'm leaving some of the hair on the back of his neck. Now I'm just doing the other side, just doing exactly the same as what I did on the opposite side. And I sped up the video a little bit. I'm just doing the same thing as I did to the other side, just getting off the bulk of the hair. And here I'm just trying to get off as much hair as I can on the side of the neck, being careful not to cut too much off because I do want to leave that crest, a small crest on the back of the neck here. He had a lot of hair, like twice as long as he did on his body, as the crest is always longer, of course. And here what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the hair, like roughing out the hair. These are my roughen shears, they're not my best shears. And I'm just cutting some of the hair off because I'm not going to be clipping the legs with that blade. So I just want to make sure the legs are going to be longer. So I just kind of cut the hair just a little bit shorter, and then brush it gently, like just to separate the hairs so that when I wash it, it'll wash a lot better. Now, a crest is not necessary to leave on the back of your poodle's neck. I just like the style. I like to leave some hair just to blend in the top knot to the back of the neck. You can actually clip that off starting at the back of the head and clip the neck smooth and leave a smaller top knot. But in my case, I'm going to leave some and blend it in with the top knot. I also shaved the band of the tail, the base of the tail. I clip it all off. He had a lot of hair there. And I clip it to a length where it will end just below the rectum when the tail is down. It depends on the length of your poodle's tail, how you will clip the band. If the poodle has a very, very short tail, you don't want to clip too much, but you can clip up the back a little bit more to make the tail look longer. But this is where I do. I either leave like a V or a U shape at the top. This way I can give him a better bath to clean that skin. Now I am clipping the groin. I usually use a number anywhere between a 10, 15 to a 30, but I give it a very light touch. A 10 is a good blade to use, especially if you're just learning or you're beginner, because the groin can get easily irritated. They can scratch and lick on themselves if it's too close. So I'm just using a very light touch. He was pretty hairy here. I like to keep this clean. He did have a few knots underneath from him licking himself. So I like to keep this area, very clean. See all the hair he had here? And just be very, very careful not to, nick any skin. And when you're holding up the leg, you want to make sure that you're holding it up to where the dog is comfortable. You don't want to be stretching it or pulling the leg. And Benny's holding his leg to where he's comfortable, and he's not in any pain. I also clip his feet before the bath. If the hair is long enough, I will clip it. Sometimes I'll clip it after the bath. But in Benny's case, because he had a lot of hair, I am shaving the feet first. And the underside of the feet. Nice and clean. And here I am going to be clipping the nails. I'm not going to file them because they're really dirty. I don't want all that dust in my face. So I'll just clip them short now and file them later. Here I am using a number 30 on his face. To clip a face, you can use a 10, 15, 30, or 40. Just depending on the color of your poodle. The white poodles, you might want to not go as close as they can get irritated more. If you're new to shaving faces, I suggest you start off using a 10. And it really depends on how often you shave your dog's face, because if you wait too long, sometimes they do get irritated. and I'm not used to it. Like Benny's used to it, so I can use a 30 on him, and he's black. So the black dogs seem to take it clipping closer than the whiter dogs. But if you trim your dog's face, every week or 2 weeks, and they get used to it, their skin like toughens up. But then again, some dogs will be very sensitive to clipping their face. So it's best that you have, a sharp blade, a clean blade, and a well-oiled blade to prevent any irritation on the face. And make sure you get the flews, like I'm pulling his skin back. They got like a little pocket in their lip, in the bottom lip. You want to pull that back and give that a good clean out, because all the hair and debris and everything gets stuck in there. You want to keep it clean. When clipping under the neck, you want to stretch up the head, because see that skin hanging there? There's 2 areas of skin. You just got to be really careful that you don't nick that area. You want to pull the skin tight and just be careful not to nick that skin that is hanging down. Now I'm going to clean Benny's ears and pluck the hairs out of there. I like to pluck my poodle's ears and to keep them clean. The reason I pluck them is because the hair inside the ears is curly, just like the hair on the body, and I find it curls, and it curls into the ear, and it doesn't like grow outwards. So if you don't want to pluck your poodle's ears, you got to comb it out with a small tiny comb the hair out so it sticks out of the ear hole instead of in the ear hole. So I find it's always best to pluck a poodle's hair or any curly coated dog. And I use the powder for grip, the ear powders for grip, to when you're plucking the hair with the hemostat or your fingers. And then I apply ear cleaner directly into the ear and massage the ear. And then I use a cotton pad to wipe the ear. I'll wipe the outside first, and then see the dirt? And then I'll wipe the inside. And I like to clean them before the bath, because in the bath, that way I can clean the excess cleaner off, and I can clean the flaps of the ears, like the inside flaps. Because if I do this after the bath, it's just going to be messy and dirty on the dog's, fur and skin. So it's better to clean the ears before you actually bathe your dog. Now I'm just doing the other side. I do the same thing. This time I'm using the ear powder. What you do is just, put some in there. You just sprinkle it in, and you grab your hemostats and you pull out the hair that's in there. Just the loose hair. If there's any tight hair, you got to be careful. You don't want to really pull too hard. If you have a problem, you can talk to your vet about that, or just don't even pull them if they're in there really tightly. His hairs are very loose. You see the hair? And it comes out very easy. And now I'm just pouring in the ear cleaner solution and rubbing it in. You rub it in so that it can mix around and get all the dirt, loosen up the dirt. And sometimes the dog can shake its head. And then I just pour more solution, ear cleaning solution, on the cotton pad, and then wipe his ear again. And usually I do this twice. If it's really dirty, I'll even do it a 3rd time. And then again, in the bath, I'll be washing the outside of his ear flaps and around the ear opening to get them super clean. Benny's body clipping is finished. His face is shaved, feet are shaved, his nails are clipped, his groin is clipped, his tail base is clipped. I done scissoring of some of the hair, and now I'm just giving him a light brushing just to loosen up the dirt on his back and on his legs, to clean him up. I like to brush them first before I bathe him. It just helps make the bathing go smoothly and much better. So that's how I prep my poodle for the bath. For more videos like this one, click on the video on the screen, and I will see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe.